When podcast. It's your boy Loso 2.0. And today we're talking about how to identify your market. Now, before we get started with all that stuff, just some housekeeping things. Like this video, share it, subscribe to the Winners Win channel. If you listen to this on any type of podcast platform, leave a 5-star review and leave a review below so I can figure out how I can better serve you. Please excuse the Straw Hat Crew shirt. Yesterday we had an anime themed party for my little brother. It was fun, you know what I mean, to see him get some friends together, play Phase 10, which is a crazy game anyway. But that's not here we're talking about, though. We're here to talk about how to identify the market, right? So first, what is a market? There are only 3 markets total, okay? Let me get you started with them. There's wealth, health, and relationships. Everything falls into these 3 markets, no matter how you think of it. I'm going to give it an example. Let me see. Personal training. So if you're selling personal training, you could sell it to either of these 3. You could say when you personal training, you work out, you feel better, which allows you to be able to focus more on your goals or stuff. You know what I mean? Get the blood rush into your brain in order to make more money. You could say, obviously, health, obviously, with personal training. Or relationships. You work out so you look good, so it helps you with getting more women or stuff like that. You can make whatever your product is, whatever your business is, you can make it into one of these 3 markets: health, wealth, or relationships. I guarantee every single thing falls into these 3. Even selling flowers can fall into relationships, or it could sell into health. Maybe there's some type of healthy thing for getting flowers, or wealth thing, right? Maybe the money is made to play. I don't know. You know what I mean? So those are the 3 different markets. Now these markets go into sub markets. Now there's millions of sub markets. I can't even think of all of them, right? You can go into different types of things, right? And then these sub-markets then go into niches, which is real specific, right? So if you need help identifying your market, you got to start to ask yourself some questions, right, to help identify the niche. The first question would be, will people in this sub-market be excited about the new opportunity that I'm presenting to them in this niche? So, for example, my niche is helping young minority men, entrepreneurs, achieve their personal professional goals in a quarter of the time. Now, that's my niche. Now, I didn't say how I do it, but I did say this is what I do, though, right? So then, would people in the sub-market be excited about this? You dang right. People be excited about being able to achieve their personal and professional goals in a quarter of time. And then leaves a little bit of hint of curiosity, right? When you're doing your niches, when you're building your niches out, think about the who, what, where, when, why, how. Now, me, I talked about the who, minority men, what do I do, right? Right? Who, what, where. Now that one I didn't even specify as much, right? But it probably is majority of the people that are in the United States. Then you think about when, and I said in a quarter of time, that's how quick I wanted to be. Now the why and how is stuff that I talk about later on, where I talk about, you know, I'm doing it because I grew up and I didn't want to be a statistic, and I've been through that stuff, and I deem myself successful right now and on the path to even greater success. So that's my why. And then how I do it, I teach them about mindset things and high income skills that help them. So it falls into that wealth then right there, right? And then even then I even have things where I help people with high income skills like marketing and stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. It's wealth that I'm doing it for. And then, of course, I can make other programs for health and relationships, but wealth is the one that I specify on, right? To say professional and personal goals. The personal goals mean to make a certain amount of money, stuff like that. But all of it goes into wealth to make yourself more money. So it would be, were people excited about this? The second question, are people in this market irrationally passionate? Of course, anybody in self-improvement, personal development is extremely passionate. If you're doing this, that means you're listening to motivational videos in the morning. That means that you're reading tons of books and stuff like that, you know, have coaches and stuff that you listen to. So, and you obviously are passionate, because everybody's passionate about making more money, because more money means more impact. And then if you're an entrepreneur, of course you're worried about making more money, right? Because you want your business to bring in more money. You want the people in there to feel good. They want to wake up with a smile on their face. You know what I mean? So are people actually passionate about your niche that you're presenting? The next one is, what online forums or communities are they in? You should be looking at that. You know, what Facebook groups are they in? What websites do they visit? Are they on Instagram? What social medias are they on? Who do they follow on social media? And this is a good part to do this. And this is actually a tip with growing your audience. Now, now it's something to really think about, right? And I'm gonna explain that in this little clip right here, right though. But we're talking about figuring out what help you need to identify the market. Remember, there are three types of markets. There's wealth, health, and relationships. Everything falls into these three, or if you can't, you have to find a reason for it to fall into these three. These are the big markets. So everything is surrounded around people trying to figure out how ways to make more money, people finding ways to lose weight or just be healthier in general, or people to strengthen their relationships with other people. My phone getting another message on. So they all fall into one of these three categories. So then your market, you have to build submarkets where there are millions of submarkets. You can think of anything, right? Entertainment or anime and stuff like that. You could think of personal training. You could think of relationship coach, and then your niche is what you do specifically. So that's when you're answering probably like who, what, where, when, why, how for your market, right? So these are breaking down markets. Like I was saying, a little tip though, a little quick tidbit that I'm gonna tell you about when I was talking about the online forums, stuff like that, is when people actually go onto when you follow people, you see people that are doing your niche, right? Especially on like social media. Find people doing your niche or doing at least in the same submarket as you. Your niche may be a little bit different, obviously, but excuse me, you find people who are in the same submarket as you, or even the same market, well, submarket, I would say, as you, right? So personal development. I go in there and then I follow these people or whatever, because you follow what they do and you start to kind of build your business around it. And then you can only see stuff on the surface level. Obviously, you have to spend money to get deeper into the program to see what type of things that you can offer and see how you can construct your own. Now, but after you do that, right, what you then do is you go on their social media, you actually comment words of advice, words of wisdom. Now, I'm not saying you can't just go in there, oh, congratulations, great job. Obviously, people are going to like that comments though. But when you actually put words of wisdom and actually put tidbits of information, actually helping people see that because, they have a large following and those are the same people in your market. And then they'll like your stuff and then start following you. I'll start gaining followers just off of doing that. I gained 23 followers on my blog post just by doing that, right? So just leave words of wisdom on there that actually makes sense, right? Don't just say something stupid, but you obviously have to know your information. Now, that's the next thing. Let's talk about what vocabulary do they use, right? You have to really think about what type of words do they stick to. I know with personal development, there's inspiration, motivation, stuff like that. You have to actually go and study your market and see what kind of vocabulary words do they use. The next thing is what events do they attend? You should be attending the same events, or you should be going to the same events, which most of the time is like the stuff you buy. If you're going to go into this niche or whatever you are, you have to buy products and services about it, right? So that's what I do. I have so many books. And if you don't have a lot of money, you start with, because that's the thing a lot of people think. They think, oh, no, you need to go out there and just go bankrupt automatically off the rip. No, go out there and buy books on your niche. Then when you buy books on your niche, you start to learn the vocabulary. Then after you buy books on the niche, you start to see the events because people always promoting their events and things on that. Right. Then after you do that, you go into you keep going in and as you keep making more money, then you start putting your money towards going to different events, put money aside to go to programs and stuff like that. You buy programs and then you go to these bigger events. So you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money up front. Just start with some books. Books, $10. I know you can buy a book, right? Even if you're buying one a month. Now, the other thing is, who are the other experts in this field? You have to look at that. Are there other experts in this field? Of course there are. That's what I'm talking about. You go and follow those ones, and you go and you leave words of wisdom under their posts, and people are going to follow you off of that. But also, too, it's just like figure out who the experts are in the field, study the way they do things, and of course, study their books and stuff, right? Like right now, I'm reading some Jordan B. Peterson. He might be exactly my niche, but he's also in personal development. And then finally, are people willing and able to spend money on information? Like if you're niche, because if you're selling an information product, are they willing to spend money on information? I can tell you most of the time people are. People are lazy. People don't want to go and do the information or go find information themselves. So if you make it easier for them by putting it in a book, or you make it easier for them by making a course that just gives them links really, or just you teaching them about it so they don't got to go do the reading themselves. People are willing to spend money on it, but you got to definitely look at it in that way though, right? So that's really all I have for you guys. These are the 7 questions that you want to do to try to figure out your niche and try to figure out if it's even worth it, right? I want you to comment below which question is your favorite. I want you to then like this video, share, subscribe to the Winners Win channel. If you're listening to any type of podcast platform, leave a 5-star review. Leave a review below so I can figure out how I can better serve you. I want you guys to keep killing the day. Winners win, losers lose, and you pray for success like this. 2.0 out.